So then we'll go to the superintendent's report, Dr. Stephens.
Curriculum Advisory Council. If you didn't see the articles today in the Daily Herald or the Chicago Sun-Times, the State Board of Education has officially announced that this school year the high schools will no longer be required to take the PARCC exam, and that they will be using the SAT and paying for the SAT for all juniors to accommodate both their college entrance exam requirement under the school code as well as our accountability measure for the federal government. That being said, we're kind of prepared for this when Ms. Greger and Ms. Smetana spoke with the Board of Education in the spring, and so we will still have 2 classes that will want to also pay for their ACT as well as allow them to take the free SAT from the state while we transition and collect our data, just to have a complete data cycle of ACT. Is that correct, Ms. Smetana? Did I do that?
Correct.
That's our plan. Then under Facilities Advisory Council, the Facilities Advisory Council met yesterday. We walked the gym site. We walked the roof site. We met with both the construction manager and architect. At this point in time, the schedule is about a week behind, but that did build us in some time to get the foundation of the floor surveyed. I did get some news back on it today. So one, there's no major mediation that needs to occur, just some general crack filling and sealing. And the second thing was the original bid of 3/4 inch of self-leveling product, and in order to level the floor will be sufficient. Based on the high and low spots on the floor, 3/4 should be right on. So we should not, knock on wood, but we should not be expecting any additional unforeseen conditions in regards to the base of the floor, the concrete of the floor. So that being said, we did talk as a Facilities Advisory Council. I shared with them the plan of moving forward, then using some of that allowance money to upgrade the lighting. So that will be occurring. We also looked at the front stoop in front of door G. There is some concrete identified in the life safety plan. We do have some money in the life safety bonds to address the new stoop for the front entrance of G, which is pretty banged up. The railings are rusted. There's some cracks there that are going to need to be epoxied. So we're looking at getting numbers to address the front stoop and try to get that fixed this summer while that temporary road is there and room for demolition. There's an agreement later on in the agenda that I'm asking for the board to consider approving for a partnership with us and Loyola University Medical Center, and in part of that, in part of those services, we will also be receiving a cash sponsorship, which should cover the cost of a new scoreboard for the main gymnasium and some additional funds to help offset a new sound system in the main gymnasium. So that's in regards to facilities. Right now, our roof project looks to be on time. That project should be complete before the Monday, August 15th of the opening of school. Finance Advisory Council tonight, you'll see the tentative budget that Tim McGinnis, who's with us tonight, and myself and the Finance Advisory Council worked to put together. Tim has officially passed the baton to Scott Baranek, our new CFO, and I asked him to be present at this meeting since most of the questions and the financials in this CFO report are from the month of June when Tim was still acting CFO, as well as the tentative budget was put together under Tim. At the August Board of Education meeting, the actual dollar amount spent from up through June 30th will be added to will be amended in the tentative budget. So the board will have the 30 days of this being passed here in July tonight through August to make any recommendations, or if we need to modify or make any changes, and formal action would be taken on the budget before September 30th, so at the September Board of Education meeting. There is no update on Personnel Advisory Council. There's no update on the Policy Advisory Council. And the First Avenue Bike Path, there are no updates. I did meet with those representatives from North Riverside and reported out on that at the last board meeting. And so that should be, hopefully, I know they were meeting with the county one more time to review the plans and see if they could get some additional feet and setback. And so the engineer from North Riverside is working on that, but I have no other updates than that for the superintendent report.
Okay. Any questions?
I would just add, so there's a minor slippage in the schedule on the summer work, but we also, they took advantage of that by Kevin and Joel Hatchie put a lot of effort into figuring out that we could replace the lights at a pretty reasonable cost. And then part of the reasonable cost is that the new crew leader, I don't think it's basically the crew leader for the Aramark crew, he's a licensed electrician. And it was cheaper for Aramark to actually replace the lights than the extra that the electrical company would have, contractor would have done. So they're doing that. And the other thing is the front stairs, assuming that we go forward with that, which is likely, they explained to us because of the bank, they could replace the concrete in short order, but then they have to wait till the concrete's installed to measure to replace the banisters. So that front entrance probably won't be completed by the time school opens, but you knew that, right, Kristen? So, they said it probably should be around Labor Day before the front entrance can open.
If we feel that we're not gonna have the money or the prices don't align, then we can bring that back for next summer. But with the way that temporary road's there, and the way I think we can get in and out pretty quick, I'm trying to lean on the construction manager and architect to get it done before the opening of school.
Okay,